All right, a little bit different today. We are in the reef room, and you're looking at the 50-gallon lowboy, which is a grow-out tank. And this video is to prelude into the next video, which will show some work I've done on the Acropora lagoon, thinning the herd and preparing a new bommy structure. And so it's really I'm really excited about the layout of the new design. I believe that I've got it whittled down to all the corals that are going to be there for future grow out. So now it's just about time and patience. And then this tank was always designed to thin the herd, but provide also redundancy for the system, a source of corals. Constantly, a place to propagate corals, do experiments. It's also driven by 100% LED, so quite the contrast to that of my system in the reef cube, if you will, lagoon, that is all T5 driven. So this gives me a whole different, it gives me a different way of analyzing lighting and its impacts on the corals, and in many cases some of these corals are backed up in the other system. So it's interesting to see the nuances of coloration and growth structure. It is a different look. So you can see that it's filling up. All my millies except for one are now in here. Over here to the right you can see that I've added a protein skimmer, and it's a big one, and I'm doing that because my nitrates have gone up to 32 ppm, and as opposed to having a knee-jerk kind of reaction, I figure, you know what, let's just try to do this naturally as we can. A little bit of liquid carbon source dosing, NP Pro from Acropora is what I'm using. I was not really enjoying my personal experience with Bacto Energy. I just was having a hard time dialing it in without nuisance things popping up. I've had more experience with NP Pro, so I'll probably continue to work with it, but in minute doses, and kind of gradually work from NP Pro over to it. But anyways, 32 ppm on nitrates. Phosphates, last test were 0.09. I have been controlling them with lanthanum chloride, around 3 to 4 drops a day to keep them down. So they want to go up. But we've made some changes to the prop tank. That's what this video is all about. And some of the changes since the last time are obviously I've moved quite a bit of rock and corals over. I've also added the protein skimmer, removed the sand in here. And so you can see that this is just a full-on grow out tank. Now I did add in, this is my one little area of non SPS or acros, and then you can see in here, we can kind of try to zoom in, but you can see in here I had to cut down my pearlberry, and you can see the tissue out here exposed. I'm doing this on purpose. I'm doing this because I do have a working theory about RTN, STN, bacteria, detritus. I do have a working theory, and it's just going to stay in my brain for now, but it is what has compelled me to run this protein skimmer, to move certain corals over to this system, and to allow them an area free of any detritus or bacteria, really. I mean, there's obviously bacteria ever present around the corals and within and on the rock. And I'm trying to do is just keep the water, keep it contained in the water system. Because remember, this system is shared by the lagoon. And so since it's shared by the lagoon, there's no shortage of nutrients. So really, this is actually becoming a living filter. And so the update on the reef room and the prop tank for today is, well, what you're looking at is my analyzing my high nitrates and my phosphates that are wanting to elevate and my abundance of nutrients. Obviously the sand had a role in that. Things have now returned in balance as a result. So I'm very excited about the overall appearance of the tank. I just would like to run my nutrients a little bit lower. I feel more comfortable with them a little bit lower on the nitrates. So anywhere around 10 ppm on nitrates and 0.1 on phosphates is actually where this whole entire system is targeted to be. So getting there is a challenge, but it's not a sprint, y'all. It's a very slow, steady. Don't overreact. Don't jump the gun. Don't add any new types of reduction or implement reduction philosophies other than one at a particular time, and be patient with it. Let it work for you. If it's algae, let it work. Let it take time. You're not going to see those nutrients reduce overnight. Pay attention to the overall appearance of the tank. What does the rocks look like? Are you seeing any nuisances? Those are things that I find to be a little bit more critical than a number itself. Now, while I'm not happy with the number, I am happy with the way the tank looks. So it's allowing me the ability to take my sweet time and just lower nutrients. If I can lower it 1 to 2 ppm on nitrates per week, so next week 28 or 30, 28 to 30, somewhere in that range, I'll be totally happy with that. I'm using the water changes to help offset as well, but there's nothing to really worry about. I added a second protein skimmer for this specific tank because it's a rescue hospital, backup for redundancy, a prop tank, everything in one, and there are fish in there now, so it has basically everything it needs, and now it's matching in terms of uptake to that of the Acropora lagoon. So that really makes things interesting from a nutrient and a mineral uptake standpoint. So I am analyzing this as a living filter, and eventually, because it has the protein skimmer and so many corals packed in there and only 4 little damsels, eventually this will be bringing nutrients down, and given that it's connected to the overall system, it's going to lower it completely on the entire system. So that's all for today. Thank you for being patient with me. Have a wonderful day.